Okay, so you know that feeling, right? An idea pops into your head, maybe learn Spanish, start that blog, even just try, I don't know, a weird new recipe.
Hmm.
And instantly your brain just lists like 10 reasons why you shouldn't even bother.
Oh, yeah, that internal editor working overtime.
Exactly. So today we're diving deep into why pushing past that feeling is, well, actually pretty vital. We're drawing on some really great points from the EDP English Dialogue podcast on YouTube.
Right?
Specifically, their talk around that phrase, if you never try it, you will never know.
It's such a simple phrase, but wow, it really gets to the heart of things, doesn't it?
It really
We're
does.
basically talking about, the importance of taking chances,
Mm-hmm.
stepping outside what's comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
and just opening yourself up to stuff you can't even imagine from where you are right now.
Totally. And look, we get it. Life is busy. Maybe you're thinking about a big change. Maybe not. Maybe you're just curious about this whole embrace the unknown idea. So our mission here, really sparked by that YouTube chat, is to unpack why trying stuff is so key for like personal growth,
Yeah.
what holds us back, those barriers we don't always see, and crucially, some actual ways to, nudge ourselves forward.
Okay. Sounds good. Where do we start?
So let's jump right in. Why is putting yourself out there?
Hmm?
Why is it so fundamental? What did the source suggest?
Well, one of the biggest things that comes through is just the sheer power of growth from new experiences.
Growth. Okay.
Yeah. Think of your comfort zone as like your current understanding. It's limited.
Right.
Every new thing you try, it actively expands that understanding, gives you new info, new skills, but also new ways of looking at what you already know.
Ah, okay. So it's not just learning a new thing, it's reframing the old stuff too.
Exactly. And even the attempts that don't, hit the mark,
Mm-hmm.
they're still valuable data. They feed your personal evolution.
That's a great way to think about it. Data points, not failures. Every try, win, or lose adds to your picture of the world and, well, yourself. And the podcast highlighted something else I found really powerful, finding hidden passions.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Like, how many people stumble into their life's passion totally by accident?
Happens all the time.
But that stumbling only happens if you're willing to walk down paths you haven't explored before, right? You might think you know what you like,
Right.
but the really game-changing stuff, often just outside your current view.
Precisely. You can read about something, watch videos, think about it,
Mm.
but you won't know if it sparks something until you actually do it.
Yeah, until you get your hands dirty.
And tied into that is confidence. It's undeniable. Trying new things, stepping out,
Mm-hmm.
and just navigating it, whether you succeed wildly or just, manage it,
Mm.
reinforces your belief that you can handle the unknown.
It's like building a muscle, isn't it? Each time you face something new and come out the other side, you've basically boosted your resilience.
Exactly. You've proven to yourself you can cope.
And the speakers, they made a really interesting point about failure, too.
Yeah. Yes. The F word.
Right. Instead of seeing it as this, like, awful final outcome, they framed it as just a necessary part of learning.
Absolutely. Not the opposite of success,
Mm-hmm.
but more like a detour that gives you crucial directions for next time.
Yeah, like, okay, that road was blocked. Try another way.
Precisely. Failure gives you super specific feedback. It shows you what didn't work so you can adjust.
Mm.
If you avoid any chance of failure,
Mm-hmm.
you're basically shutting down a major route to getting better.
That makes so much sense. Okay, so we see why trying is important,
Mm.
but actually doing it, that first step feels huge sometimes.
It does. It really does.
What did the podcast say were the main things holding us back? The roadblocks.
Well, no surprise, fear was top of the list.
Yep, knew it.
Fear of failing, obviously. Fear of rejection, fear of what others might think. Just fear of the unknown itself. It can feel like this huge invisible wall.
Totally. And right there with fear is usually self-doubt, right? That little
Yeah.
voice.
Oh, that voice. You're not good enough. You make a fool of yourself. What if you crash and burn?
Ugh, yes. It can kill your motivation before you even start.
That inner critic is so persuasive. And then there's just the comfort of routine, inertia.
Ah, the rut.
Exactly. Even if things aren't amazing right now, they're familiar, predictable. Trying something new means effort uncertainty.
Yeah.
And that often feels way less appealing than just sticking with what you know.
It's the comfy rut. You might dream of the scenic route, but the rut is just easier.
It really is. And the podcast also mentions societal expectations. That's a subtle one, but powerful.
How so?
Well, sometimes we hold back because we're worried about what our friends, family, or even like random people online will think.
Oh, right. Fear of judgment.
Yeah, that fear can really box you in. It's deep-seated, wanting to fit
It's
in.
true.
But as the podcast pointed out, just seeing these barriers, naming the fear, the self-doubt, the comfort trap, the social pressure, that's the first step.
Just acknowledging them.
Yeah, once you name it, it starts to lose some of its power over you. You can see it for what it is.
Okay, so we've got the why try and the why we don't. But let's make it real. The podcast hosts shared personal examples, didn't they?
They did, and that really helped illustrate these ideas.
Like what?
Well, one person talked about moving to a totally new city for a job.
Whoa, that's a big one.
Huge leap. Definitely scary, but ultimately led to massive growth both personally and professionally. A clear example of stepping into uncertainty.
Okay, yeah, that fits. What else?
Another was starting a blog. The hesitation about putting your thoughts out there for everyone to see.
Oh, for sure. Vulnerable.
Very. But doing it uncovered this real love for writing and connected them with people they never would have met otherwise.
So it revealed a hidden talent or passion, like we talked about.
Exactly. And then there were the maybe more relatable struggles,
Yes, tell me about those.
like someone trying to learn to surf.
Okay.
Lots of falling, not much actual surfing,
It sounds about right for surfing.
but still fun, still found enjoyment, and gained huge respect for the ocean and the skill involved, even without mastering it.
That's important too. It doesn't have to be about becoming an expert.
Right. Or the person in a cooking competition. Didn't win,
Okay.
but learned a ton about cooking under pressure, about their own strengths and weaknesses in the kitchen, self-awareness.
See, I think those stories are just as vital. It's not always about the big win.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
These examples really drive home that the value isn't just in the final outcome.
Right.
The act of trying itself gives you rewards, new skills, self-knowledge, maybe just a good story.
Yeah. It broadens what success even means. It includes the learning, the growth, the experience itself.
Totally. So, okay, we know what's good. We know what stops us. We see examples.
Yeah.
But how do we actually do it? How do we push through the fear?
Good question. The podcast had some solid strategies. One I really liked was start small, like incredibly small.
Okay, break it down.
Yeah. Don't think about climbing the whole mountain. Just take one tiny step towards the base camp. Whatever your big idea is, find the smallest possible action.
Makes it less intimidating.
Way less.
Yeah,
And it
yeah.
gives you that little hit of momentum, you know? Okay, I did something.
That's great advice. It reframes the challenge.
Yeah.
Another technique they mentioned was shifting your focus to the potential upside.
Ah, the positive thinking angle.
Sort of, but more active. Instead of letting your mind spin on, what if it goes wrong? Consciously think, what's the best that could happen if I try this?
Okay. Focus on the reward, not just the risk.
Exactly. Switching that mental spotlight can really change your motivation level.
Yeah, I can see that. And they also talked about, well, good old-fashioned preparation.
And being prepared.
Right. Doing a bit of research, practicing if you can, even just chatting with someone who's done it before. All that builds confidence. Makes the unknown feel a little less unknown.
Preparation definitely takes the edge off the anxiety. And circling back to failure, really internalizing that idea of embracing it. Seeing it not as something awful to avoid, but as data, as learning.
That fundamental mindset shift again.
It's crucial, moving from, oh no, I failed, to, okay, that approach didn't work. What did I learn? How can I use this?
Yeah, extracting the lesson. And lastly, they mentioned something often overlooked. Seeking support.
Ah, yes. Don't go it alone.
Right. Friends, mentors, online groups, people who get it, who can cheer you on or offer advice. It makes a huge difference.
It really does. Having that backup, that encouragement, can be incredibly helpful when you're feeling shaky.
Definitely. Okay, so we've covered a lot about the benefits, the barriers, the strategies, but the podcast also brought up a really important point. Are there times when you shouldn't try something?
That's a crucial nuance, isn't it? It's not always about blindly jumping in.
Right. The just do it mantra isn't foolproof. So when is it okay, or even wise, to hesitate or say no?
Well, a big one they stressed was values. If trying something means compromising your core principles, what you fundamentally believe is right, then stepping back is not only okay, it's necessary. Your integrity matters more.
That makes total sense. Your personal compass. What else?
Safety came up too.
Yeah.
Obvious, maybe, but important. If trying something carries a genuine, significant risk, physical, emotional, maybe even financial harm,
Yeah.
then hitting pause and assessing that risk carefully is just smart. Not every potential reward justifies a dangerous gamble.
Good point, risk assessment.
Yeah.
And they also talked about timing, right?
Yes. Sometimes an opportunity might be great in theory, but if you're already completely overwhelmed, burned out, or just not in the right headspace, forcing yourself might do more harm than good. It's about self-awareness, knowing your limits at that particular moment.
Recognizing your current capacity. That feels really important.
It's absolutely key. It's all about balancing, pushing yourself for growth with, self-respect and well-being.
Yeah.
Trying new things should add to your life, ideally, not violate your values or put you in harm's way or just push you past your breaking point.
Finding that sweet spot between challenge and self-care.
Yeah. Exactly. It's a dynamic balance.
Okay, so wrapping things up, we've circled right back to where we started. If you never try it, you will never know. And exploring that through the lens of this EDP podcast discussion, it really does feel like a profound truth, doesn't it? About growth, discovery, building confidence.
It really does capture so much. And hopefully, listening to this, maybe something specific came to mind for people.
Yeah, maybe an old interest, a skill you've wondered about, some opportunity you've been kind of hesitant about.
Could be anything.
Exactly. So maybe the encouragement for everyone listening is just pick one thing. Doesn't have to be huge. Even something tiny.
Just one small thing.
One thing you've been putting off trying. And then maybe just commit to taking that first tiny step. See what happens.
And just remember, whatever the outcome, you will learn something. The act itself has value. It adds to your journey.
Because really, when you think about it, life is just packed with possibilities we haven't even considered yet.
Absolutely brimming with them.
And that willingness to just try, that seems to be the key that unlocks so many of them.
A powerful thought indeed. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive today.